you'll take care of it.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yeah. Do this. Like that, baby. Like that.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you are tuning in. My name is Jonathan Torres-Herrera, and you are watching or listening to the JTH show. Today, let's talk about why is the SpaceX program blowing up, literally. But first, roll the intro. All right. Thank you for coming back and joining us for another one of these episodes. If you're new here, we do at this point daily episodes, Josh and I, where we talk about what's happening in the news or just commentary over what's happening, around the world. And today we want to talk about SpaceX, right? So it's very interesting what is happening in that company, I think from many different angles, right? But before we move on, please smash that like button. It really helps us. In addition, if you don't mind, also go ahead and listen to this episode. If you can't catch it on YouTube here, you can catch it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Radio Public. And let's get into what exactly is happening currently with SpaceX. Excuse me, and that is one of Elon Musk's company, right? So today there was all sorts of news. And we're going to start first with an article that is coming out of CNBC, and that is a headline, SpaceX to fly first civilian crew to space later this year with public competition for 2 seats. Now, some of you guys will just, completely drop off at this point. You don't even care. You're like, whatever. But for the rest of you guys that are sticking around because either you're interested or you're nerdy like us, understand that this is huge. Now, this is not the first time, and we're gonna get into that in just a second. But this is huge to the point where we are now able to send just civilians up in space, right? Now, obviously, Elon already sent his Roadster, I think it was a few years ago, right, into space, and I guess that was kind of cool. Yes, I know some people will argue and say that was fake. That was all in a stage. Okay. Well, let's just pretend it wasn't, all right? And it actually went to space. Now we're at a point where we're gonna go ahead and send actual just private, just regular citizens out into space. The key points of the article says that SpaceX will launch 4 private individuals on a Crew Dragon capsule into an orbit around the Earth later this year, dubbed the world's first all-civilian mission. And that's what I was saying about getting into it in a little bit. That is not entirely accurate. The company's spacecraft will be commanded by Jared Ismack. I'm sorry, I just chopped your name up. The founder and CEO of Shift4 Payments. The mission, known as the Inspiration 4, seeks to raise support for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. 2 seats were given to St. Jude, with one going to a frontline healthcare worker and other to be awarded for a competition of people who donate to a fundraiser for St. Jude's, aka very, very rich people. The 4th seat will be decided by a second competition among new and existing customers of Isaacman's Shift4 Shop e-commerce platform. Again, probably very, very rich individuals. The SpaceX announced on Monday that it will launch 4 private individuals, right, on that Crew Dragon capsule, which seems very, very interesting, being that something else happened today with SpaceX. But before we get into that, let's look at some people that may not be very happy with SpaceX, and that is according to the Daily Wire, the DOJ. So they have an article saying, DOJ targets Elon Musk's SpaceX for allegedly preferring to hire U.S. citizens.
Oh my goodness gracious!
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But, insurance and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. According to the article, they say that the U.S. Department of Justice is investigating Elon Musk's SpaceX for allegedly preferring to hire American citizens over non-citizens. According to the DOJ, in March 2020, a non-U.S. citizen inquiring about the position of technology strategy associate at SpaceX was asked about his citizenship status. DOJ attorney Lisa Sandoval stated that the SpaceX ultimately failed to hire him for the position because he is not a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident. Hold on, stop. So, so they didn't hire him because he is not a U.S. citizen or a lawful permanent resident. So this is where I feel, that the company would have been bashed. It's like, damn you if you do, damn you if you don't. If the company is found to have all sorts of issues with their hiring because they hire a lot of people that are illegal, then you would have all kinds of people, right, canceling SpaceX or Elon Musk or both. Who knows? Because they're taking away jobs from Americans, and now you have issues with them doing due diligence and trying to hire people that are here illegally. I don't believe that they are only hiring U.S. citizens or Americans only. I don't believe that. I don't think that that company would risk a lawsuit like this. It's insane. I mean, is it even worth it? Is it even worth to be in the news for getting caught only hiring allegedly U.S. citizen? Now, supposedly, again, according to the same article, last Thursday, the DOJ filed a request with a judge to order SpaceX to comply with an administrative subpoena for documents related to how the company hires. CNBC reported the DOJ wants SpaceX to comply with a subpoena within 2 weeks. Again, I don't know that this will be a big effing problem. I don't know that this will be a mega scandal. It's just one more thing that in my opinion, some people are trying to make news out of, because it's like, hey, Elon Musk equals, say something. It's like, say something, you know what I mean? Like, say something. Look at me wrong, just to me, that's what it is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they'll try and get whatever money they can out of Mr. Musk, of course. I mean, he certainly has enough of it, right? But this whole thing about only hiring U.S. citizens and stuff like that. I mean, so it's like, do you want them to break the law? I don't know what international working laws are exactly. I mean, if someone knows, please comment below. But I think it would be I think it's definitely illegal just to be hiring people who aren't part of the country where the company resides. I don't know. That could be correct, unless there's certain taxes which are paid, and who knows, maybe it'll cost more insurance wise to get. Because I mean, I don't want to jump the gun on the next part of this story, but I imagine it might be somewhat dangerous going into space, seeing as this is the first time that this has happened. I don't know.
Well, for that, I guess it's a perfect intro for the next article, right? Which is SpaceX Starship prototype rocket crashes in fireball. ... Again. So for those of you guys that don't know, SpaceX is trying to develop some type of rocket that essentially can be launched, right? It goes and does its job, whatever, goes from Earth to Mars. But once it gets to Mars, they don't want it to do what it traditionally does, which is like kind of just blow up and kind of like go into the ocean, because that's not the point of going to Mars, is to pollute more, right? It's hopefully also going to help us recycle a lot of this, material that goes into building these massive things, right? To take people into space. So they wanted to actually come back down and just land. And they haven't been able to, from what I understand, fully, at least, successful, right? I mean, in theory, I think they have it down. I think they probably has done it a couple times already, but they are blowing up, which, it goes to what we were saying just a minute ago about these things, basically saying, who wants to go in space? Who wants to go in space? And it's a whole bunch of people. It's like, and on the same day, it's like, SpaceX, like rocket crashes and burns again. And it's like, I picture a lot of hands are like, oh shit, no, never mind. I'll pass. I'll go on the next one. Never mind. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend that what they're trying to do, is something easy or whatnot. I'm sure it's a little difficult, as the guy in this article comment on the live broadcast. He said, "We've just got to work on that landing a little bit." Yeah, I would say, yeah, you should. Just for the sake of not repeating what happened, unfortunately, and some of you guys might remember this. The Space Shuttle Challenger disaster, which happened way back in 1986.
3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Engines at 65%, 3 engines running normally, 3 good fuel cells, 3 good APUs. Engines throttling up, 3 engines now at 104%.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
It was very tragic, right? You had people on that flight that unfortunately all the 7 crew members were killed. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that same mission actually had people. I heard something about like a teacher or something like that. In fact, I'm seeing here on Wikipedia that one of them was in fact a teacher, also a payload specialist, but again, a teacher. I'm assuming some type of civilian. So the fact that the SpaceX flight that's going to be taking off soon, sometime this year, is not necessarily the first, civilian, whatever, mission. But it is scary, right? Because a lot of people might look back to this and say, damn, like, do you guys remember the Challenger and what happened? It took off, and 73 seconds later, it just exploded in midair, killing all 7 crew members. So, I don't know, if with that story of their rocket blowing up upon landing, and then remembering the Challenger disaster, if in fact maybe SpaceX should like tone it down a little bit. I get the eagerness to try to get to the, to it first and stuff like that. I get it. I understand that Elon Musk is pulling a JFK and saying we're gonna put people in space by this time, and that whole thing people get romantic about. I get it, but I also feel that a human life is much more valuable, right? So that's just that's my thing. Why is it blowing up? Again, it's probably because they're rushing this, and I really, really hope I am 100,000% wrong, right? But I feel that maybe this should be pushed out a little further. Honestly, I'm one of those geeks that I would want to still be around when I hear that Mars, has been colonized. At the bare minimum, Mars now, we have now landed with humans on Mars. I actually am one of those guys. But I don't think we should do it at the expense of having one of these things blow up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's funny that you should say Russian as well, because there's always been that international kind of, I don't know, like rivalry with who's going to be the first to do what in space and that kind of thing. I think even Trump in his presidency, he invented the U.S. Space Force. Is that not right?
Yeah.
I think that was a thing, right?
God, that's, man. The geek side of me is like, oh, that's actually kind of cool, right? And then the other side of me is like, did you just hear what the hell you said? The geek side of me is like, I wonder if it's because there's aliens out there. That's the one side of my brain, right? That's like geeking out and stuff like that. And I also, by the way, I'm one of the guys that grew up loving, I'm not sure if you ever saw it, but Starship Troopers. I think it's the movie. I don't know why. Yeah. I really like it. I don't know why. It's not even, now looking at it now in today's day, it's like horrible acting and not very good effects. But I like it. I don't know why. Didn't like the spin-offs, right? But then I'm like,
yeah.
This is stupid. Why are we developing what is it, like a 4th or 5th branch of the army? It's like,
well, it's another. Well, in this particular circumstance, it was just another fun way to try and extort people from money. I guess another fun way to try and raise taxes, maybe. But I think us as human beings, are just naturally curious. We want to know what's out there. Everyone has their theory, like whether it's religion, whether it's science based, whether it's whatever based, whether it's I think it's always, everyone always has that feeling of, looking up into the sky and thinking, crap, what the hell is out there? We are in such a expansive universe that's so large, and even a galaxy that's so large on a planet which is huge as well. And just thinking, I don't know, everyone has that kind of romanticism about space. I think I like to think as well. I don't think anyone just looks up into the sky and feels literally nothing. They're just like was it in The Lion King? He's like, it's just a big black sheet with fireflies on it. That's pretty much just what the sky is. No, I like to think that, we all have that kind of, that little spark of adventure in our hearts somewhere. I don't know.
Right. No, and listen, and again, a part of me, the geeky part of me, wants to see all this, before I die. I know it's very selfish of me, but it's about me. But I do. I want, I want to see it happen, but I know that it's also something that we might be rushing because, the technology is clearly not there yet. It could very well be in a few decades, but I don't know that it's ready for us to send people to Mars because we're not going to get there in a day, right? From my understanding, it takes a few months. And imagine we send people, it's just saying we send, 12, 14, 20, who knows, people, and all of a sudden they get there and we find out that, all those months for nothing because as soon as they got there, everybody died, because the thing exploded, God forbid. It would be insane, and it would be devastating, I think, to the morale of a lot of people like me, and obviously people working at an example, SpaceX, to see like all that hard work paid for nothing. And I'm literally almost bringing up the sentiment that allegedly was felt across the science community when the space shuttle, the Challenger disaster happened, right? I was reading in Wikipedia that, for a long time there in NASA, the morale was really low because it's like, man, we killed people essentially, we sent them up and when it's tragic, devastating. And that happened again 73 seconds after a launch here on Earth. Now imagine waiting for God knows how many months, I don't know how long it takes to get to Mars. And then for something like this to happen, and not because we rushed it. And I don't want it to be shut down or looked at it as a negative. And then people will start determining, it was just for the money. And then all of a sudden, we're going to be afraid to go back in space. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure, actually think about it, a lot of people before going on a mission like this, they probably have to sign some kind of waiver. It's like, you get to go to Mars, you get to do this, you get to do that. Okay, the fine print, there is a chance that it might blow up when you land, so just be a bit careful with that, okay? We're not liable, okay?
Yeah. What am I saying? It doesn't matter, just go to page 14 and, whatever.
Mars, yeah, woo!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that is that, guys, for today. It's just something that we wanted to bring up to you guys so you guys can see what's going on and make your own assessment. Leave a comment down below. Would you go to Mars? Because let me tell you something. I think I would, and it would be very, very interesting to see if my wife would agree with me. But yeah, I think I would, man. Why not? Then again, I don't know. I'm not really being offered, right? Unless you are. Then
comment below, Elon.
Comment down below, Elon. But yeah, it would be interesting. But anyways, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it from me.
Sweet. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and if you don't mind smashing that like button if we deserve it, hitting the subscribe button and the notification, and until next time, see ya. Hey, thanks for watching the JTH show. Remember, you can catch all the full episodes, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Radio Public. You can also visit www.thejthshow.com to catch episodes there and to catch anything that we had to blur out because of YouTube or any other platform. We usually put all of our raw information in there that is uncensored. You can also become a member at www.thejthshow.com to catch all the special perks. Thanks for watching.